All right, now that we've gone over the walkthrough, the fundamentals of ArcPro here in the Lab 1 walkthrough side, we're ready for the production. Each lab, each week has a production. This production activity unifies all of the things that you've learned in the walkthrough, has you put them to use on a problem of interest. So everything should feel slightly familiar if you've done the walkthrough, especially the text in the walkthrough goes through each part of the lab, tells you what to do, how to do it. The production brings all of those together. If anything feels confusing, go back to the text, go back to the videos to see what's going on. In this case, we're having a question of utility mapping here in Bellevue, Washington. This is real GIS data, really from the Bellevue, Washington GIS page. You could click on that link and find this exact data. Fortunately, we found the data for you. It's already in your lab folder, ready to go. So you'll be using all of this data to make a map. Those map requirements are all set up here, numbered out, ready to go. As you're making that map, you have some questions to answer. 6 questions. All set, all ready to go. Combine the answers to those questions with that map in one happy PDF. You've got Lab 1 complete. Pretty exciting. So in terms of setting up our ArcPro, I just want to show off one quick little thing. And that is that setting up a new ARC document might be the best way to go in terms of keeping yourself organized. You'll notice that I've restarted ARC here. I've got my Lab 1 walkthrough document over here. Since the lab production is a little different, probably want to start a new blank map template and do that. So click on that, call this Lab 1 production. Again, confirming that location is where I want this to be. I'm going to put this back on my desktop because that's the easiest place for me to want to put it. Lab 1 production. So C users, desktop, Lab 1 production. This is the best place for it for me because I know where it is. It's easy to transfer to a USB. It's easy to transfer to a cloud storage, Google Drive, whatever. When you start a new blank map document, you might look over in the catalog tab. You need to reconnect to any folders you are connected to. You need to add your new data in. So we're using a different set of data for this data for this lab. It's all in this Bellevue folder. One thing that might happen is you're using this data. We've got this lovely ortho photo. Ortho photos are air photos of a location. And something that will pop up from time to time when you're using raster data, you might have encountered this already with the walkthrough. When you're using raster data, it asks for pyramids and it asks for statistics. You can obviously learn more about those by clicking on the Learn More About Pyramids and Statistics link here. But pyramids and statistics are ways for ArcPro to analyze and understand what's within your data, what's within your data set, and therefore make it easier to use and display. I always say yes to pyramids and statistics because it's going to make my viewing and my zooming in and out easier down the line. So I'm going to do it. And here we are. Now I can zoom in and out. Ooh, pixels. Kind of get a sense of where we are. Here's where we are out in Washington. Ready to go. Pairs really nicely with our automatic base map. So your walkthrough has you go make a map, use this data, style it in certain ways, so on and so forth. Last thing to share is actually something in the share tab here. There will be times when you don't finish the lab during your lab session. And you might want to save or export your data to obviously your USB, to share with others, so on and so on. Now, we've talked about being in control of your data, knowing where it is, being able to save it so you can then move it to your USB, move it to the cloud, so on and so forth. There's also a packaging function, and that's in share and then in package here. If you package your entire project, so new project package, it's tough to say, but it's the most useful thing for us. This package then takes everything that we have, the data, the layout, the symbology, everything that we have, and puts it into one file. It's a really fancy zipping. You've unzipped your data, time to zip your data. It's a very fancy zip that then allows us to share this as one file. So we can save our package to a file, give it a specific location, say lab 1 production, not quite finished, tags, I don't know, lab 1, there we go. Oops, lab 1, add other tags. Tags and a summary are required to do this. Can hit analyze, make sure everything's good. No errors. I can package this up. Okay, I'll save first. This packaging then allows you to move just one file around rather than a whole folder, rather than a whole directory. Might be easy for you to email to yourself or set up that way. Remember, however you choose to manage your data is the right way as long as you keep your data around to manage. So have fun with the production.